Brawl Stars has over 80 different brawlers, and Supercell are releasing new ones with every new update. And although their goal is to make every new brawler in the game balanced and fun to play, there were times when they absolutely failed with that by making completely broken brawlers, which later needed a ton of nerfs to become balanced. And in this video, we'll look at some of the most broken brawlers that have ever been in the game. Just to mention that we'll start with the brawlers who were very strong on release and get to the brawlers who were absolutely broken and made the game absolutely unplayable. The first brawler for the video may sound like a surprise for you, but it's actually Sprout. Although Sprout isn't known for being broken these days and is more of annoying, back in 2020 when he got released, he was one of the most annoying brawlers. But why is that? Well, first we all know that Sprout is a thrower, and he is very strong when shooting behind walls. But this was not exactly the case with Sprout, as his attack range was really big, allowing him to just hit everyone close to him. And this wasn't even everything, as his first star power, Overgrowth, increased the range of his explosion every 5 seconds, which was pure hell for the players. But this still wasn't everything, because his first gadget, Garden Mulcher, was healing him 3,000 damage every time you use it, which was making Sprout almost unkillable. But if you think that this was everything, you're still wrong, because his super was also charging with every 4 shots. And considering that his attack range with the combination of the first star power was really large, it was super easy to charge super with Sprout and just spawn trap your opponents and bully them for the whole game. And finally, when the whole community went crazy about how broken is Sprout, Supercell finally nerfed him several times until he became more balanced. The next brawler is Chester, which was released in 2022, and was one of the most broken brawlers in the game at that time. As we all know, Chester is one of the most complicated brawlers in the whole game, as his mechanics are very different from the other brawlers. And also the fact that he has 5 different supers and 4 stages of his attack means that it would be very hard to make brawler like him balanced. Many of you might ask why he was so broken. And the first thing that made him so strong was his attack damage, which was increasing with every stage of his attack. And with the final stage, you could deal up to 5,000 damage per hit, which could literally one-shot half of the brawlers in the game. The next thing that influenced in Chester getting that strong was one of his supers, Jawbreaker, which, as you might already know by the name, will literally break your jaw. But to be more clear before the nerfs, this super could stun you for 2 seconds, allowing Chester to kill you without any problem. And on top of that, every time you used that super, it was dealing a 1,400 damage, which was making it even easier to kill an opponent. In general, all of his supers were pretty strong, so Supercell had to nerf Chester, and they did it after 1 month, making his supercharge slower, and also some other nerfs to his other super and attack damage. We continue with one of the most broken brawlers ever added in the game, which is Rosa. When we hear the name Rosa, we instantly think of her super, which is the main reason why she was so broken back in 2019. Rosa was the first brawler which had shield as her super back then, and the idea which Supercell had was to make the brawler unique and fun to play. And we can also see that Supercell wanted to make Rosa a little bit stronger than the other brawlers, since she was a tank, but things got out of hand as she was so strong that everyone got her, and eventually the servers crashed. But why she was so OP? As I already said, her super was the main thing which made her so broken, as it gave her 6-second shield, which gave her an 80% protection, meaning it was impossible to kill her while she was with the shield. And you might think that without the super, she wasn't that good. But that's actually not true, because her attack damage was still pretty high, and she could charge her super back pretty easily as her reload speed was fast, allowing her to regain her super and use it again. And another thing, which was also helping the players to stay alive forever with Rosa, was her star power Plant Life, which was healing her 300 damage per second while you were inside a bush with her. And overall, the combination with all of this led to her being absolutely broken, and considering she was a rare brawler, meaning you could unlock her easily, almost everyone was playing her. But that ended pretty soon as Supercell had to nerf her really quickly just 4 days after her release. And yet this still wasn't enough, as she was still very strong, leading to another huge nerfs to finally make her balanced. Next, we have Kit, which was added almost a year ago. And it was a brawler that just couldn't be stopped wherever you play him, because of how broken he was. It's no secret that this brawler was insanely strong, and had everything you need in him. With his main attack, he was scratching brawlers, dealing a solid 2,000 damage per hit, but that's considered normal compared to the other things that you could do with Kit, like attaching to your teammates, allowing you to throw bombs at your opponents, and if your teammate is low on health, you can heal him with your second gadget, Cheeseburger, which was pretty helpful for the tanks, allowing them to just walk straight forward and shoot whoever is on their way. But if you couldn't use your heal gadget, you could still heal them slowly, by just jumping on them. Another very broken thing was that Kit couldn't take any damage while attached to a teammate, which was making him literally unkillable, and with his second star power. Overly attached, you could stay 5 seconds longer on your teammate, which was absolutely insane, and if you think that this is everything, you will be completely wrong, as another trait that Kit has is that he can automatically charge his super for 20 seconds, just like Daryl. But if you didn't want to wait, you could just use his first gadget cardboard box, which was making you invisible for 5 seconds, allowing you to sneak on somebody and kill him pretty easily. And on top of that, this gadget was also charging your super 100% faster if you didn't move. And with his super, you can also jump on enemy brawlers, which wouldn't let them move until you get out of them. And this feature was really useful, especially on Showdown. In combination with Kit's first star power, Power Hungry, which increased the damage and buffs from power cubes by 2 times, which means that if you get 1 power cube on Showdown, it's like you've gotten 2, which was an absolute hell for the people who didn't play Kit there, just because if a Kit jumped on you, it was all over. This brawler was so broken that the community was begging for nerfs, which were done by Supercell 2 weeks later, but this brawler was still very strong, so they had to nerf him again. But it seems like to these days, nothing has changed, as Kit is always meta with every update and is useful everywhere. And the most broken brawlers in the history of Brawl Stars are Lawrie and Lawrie, which were insanely broken on release. And they were also the first brother duo as a whole brawler in the game, and that's the main reason why they were so strong. Before the nerfs, Lawrie was dealing 1,600 damage as his main attack, and when you hit somebody with it, the bomb explode again, 1 second later, which is the first annoying thing in that brawler, but not more annoying than his brother Lawrie, which you can get by using your super, which before the nerfs, you could charge with only 5 hits, which was very easy. And a lot of us thought that Lawrie will play like a bot, which is partly like that, but he is also a bit like an intelligent robot, as he can follow people and shoot them and even dodge some shots, and it's not just on the map for protection. And you couldn't really do anything when Bot Lawrie and Lawrie started to attack you, because it's basically 2 versus 1 battle. And on top of that with one of his gadgets, Order Fall Back, you can swap places with Lawrie's, healing you and him 2,500 damage, which is a really great way to escape death. But that's not even all, as his first star power protocol, Protect, transferred 30% of the damage you take to Lawrie instead. And all of this really made this brawler unkillable and very annoying for the opponents, which led to his nerf a week later. But as with the previous brawlers, all these nerfs weren't enough, so they had to nerf him again. And again. And with a total of 11 nerfs, Supercell finally succeeded in making him less broken, although he's still pretty good in some modes even today. These were some of the most broken brawlers in the history of the game. Comment down below, who do you think is the most broken brawler that has ever been in the game? And also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you can show that you support me. That was all for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.